Okay, we're still talking about People Across the Sea. This is the behind the scenes section. People Across the Sea was really a fantasy, other than what I talked about in the inspiration section about a society based on fear. What would a society that's relatively peaceful, how would they react if all of a sudden they were invaded, even if it was one violent invasion? So the society now is based on this fear that these invaders are coming back. Uh, One of the characters, you could say, was inspired by the story of Atlantis. His land, uh, his people had to evacuate, and he has more knowledge and technology than the people that live in the city by the sea. Uh, this story is also one of my first Editor Choice Awards. Pretty much, I think that's due to the character development and the intrigue, mystery, and suspense in the story. Uh, I had an agent for about a year with the story. The agent didn't manage to land me a big publisher, so I ended up going with a self-publishing company. But due to the Editor's Choice Award, it helped with the marketing, and I started getting to where sales were better. I had Hastings, Walden's, really supporting Barnes and Noble. Did one book signing a year for local authors, and I had a good fan base for People Across the Sea. And I think it's because of the suspense, the intrigue, the plot twists, all the different characters from the different armies to the sand demons, the warriors. Um, they really liked that. In fact, at the end of the novel, I kind of hinted that the story would go on by sending some of the characters out on another adventure, and I even named the title The Tides of Darkness. It was coincidence that soon after Warcraft came out with a new game called Tides of Darkness 2, but if you knew how long it takes to develop and write a novel, you understand that was just a coincidence. When I talk about the sequel, I did outline it, drew up some additional characters and storyline, but I never really got it off the ground. 2003 was my last book, published for about 9 years. I was working two jobs teaching. I really enjoyed teaching, taught at Pueblo Community College business classes part-time, and still worked my full-time job, as I was not making enough from being an author to quit and simply write. I'll give you an example of sequel writing, though. I wrote a short story for Science Fiction Writers of America, and it was originally called Too Late, and it was a space story. It takes place in outer space, and it's about a planet that is invaded, and their civilization almost gets wiped out. So because of this, they beat the invaders back, but they become so paranoid they build this huge defense network, and any planet or any known threat, they go wipe them out first so that they will never take a chance of getting wiped out. Well, the Aurelius complex became the story's title, and the complex being that it's the complex mentally of them fearing that they're going to get wiped out again, not a complex as in a physical place. I came out with the Aurelius complex in 2002, published it for free. I had somebody named Arthur Kraft, so Arthur, if you're still out there, I know it's been a long time, but I still have not written the sequel, and that was a planned three-part series. Just like the second People Across the Sea, The Tides of Darkness, I have it outlined. I just need more time to write or somebody to pay me to stay home and write, and I'll get to that. Going back to the People Across the Sea 2, when I got back into writing, Lord of the Rings had just come out with movies, and it was really big. And here's an author that's already passed, with J.R.R. Tolkien, that's more popular than the new guy. So the fantasy warriors was kind of consumed in the market. So I went after the second Quester's adventure instead, and never got back to doing the sequel to People Across the Sea. But I am getting better. I came out with a novel, 13th Month, in 2015. 2017, 18, and 19 came out with the Calling of the Protectors, including 17 original songs. And 2019 also wrote a melodrama that was going to be done at the Iron Spring Chateau. The Great American Novel, or Just Desserts, was supposed to be done in 2020. That canceled due to the virus. Hopefully they'll do it in 2021, and then in 2020 I will be coming out with the sequel to 13th Month called The 13 Days. So bear with me, I'm working on the sequels and more material. Thank you for watching.